Yo ho ho, it's me, the ukulele teacher, here to teach you how to play Jingle Bell Rock. Before we go any further, I'm going to be doing Christmas lessons all throughout December, so make sure you check out my Christmas playlist right now because I'm going to be updating it constantly, and make sure you hit subscribe and turn on the notifications bell so you never miss a lesson. So grab your uke. Make sure it's in tune, and if you need help tuning your uke, then be sure to download my free app, the Ukulele app, right now, and when it is in tune, your uke should sound like this. Before we begin, I'm just going to play through the whole song first to give you a rough idea of how it should sound when you've learned it. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell swing and jingle bell ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Oh, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chiming, jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go gliding on a one-horse sleigh. Oh, giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle in a jingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Oh, giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle in a jingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell Rock. Because it's the most complicated part of the song, I'm not going to teach you how to play the intro until the end of the lesson. But if you want to learn that bit right now, then skip ahead to this point. Otherwise, these are the chords that you'll need for the song. If you already know them, then skip ahead now. To play the chord of C, just put your third finger on the third fret of the first string, and the chord of C should sound like this. To play the chord of C major 7, just put your second finger on the second fret of the first string, and C major 7 should sound like this. And to play the chord of C6, just leave all four strings open, and C6 should sound like this. To play the chord of D minor, put your first finger on the first fret of the second string, and your second finger on the second fret of the fourth string, then add your third finger to the second fret of the third string, and the chord of D minor should sound like this. To play the chord of G7, keep your first finger on the first fret of the second string, then put your second finger on the second fret of the third string, and your third finger on the second fret of the first string, and the chord of G7 should sound like this. To play the chord of G augmented, put your first finger on the second fret of the first string, your second finger on the third fret of the third string, and your third finger on the third fret of the second string, and the chord of G augmented should sound like this. An easy way to remember how to play the G augmented chord is basically you take your D minor shape and slide it down one string and up one fret. To play the chord of C7, just put your first finger on the first fret of the first string, and the chord of C7 should sound like this. To play the chord of F, go back to that D minor shape, but lift up your third finger, and the chord of F should sound like this. To play the chord of F minor, put your first finger on the first fret of the fourth string, your second finger on the first fret of the second string, and your fourth finger on the third fret of the first string, and the chord of F minor should sound like this. To play the chord of D, put your first, second and third fingers on the second fret of the fourth, third and second strings, and the chord of D should sound like this. And from there, to play the chord of D7, just add your fourth finger to the third fret of the first string, and the chord of D7 should sound like this. This song has kind of a strange layout because you play verse 1 and then verse 2 and then you play the chorus twice. So let's start off with verse 1. Now most of the way through the verse I play a nice and simple down, up, 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 down, up strumming pattern on each line. The first line is nice and simple. It's C to C major 7 to C6 to C major 7. So you're just going up and down that first string. C C major 7, C6, C major 7. And I play the down, up pattern once on each chord, like this. Down, up, 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 down, up. Then the second line, the chords are C6 to C major 7 to D minor to G7, like this. Down, up, 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 down, up. Then the third line, the chords are D minor to G7 played through twice, like this. Down, up, 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 down, up. And then the fourth line, the chords are D7 to G augmented. And here you play the down, up pattern 4 times on each chord, like this. Down, up, 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 down, up. So let's put that all together nice and slowly and play through verse 1. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell swing and jingle bell ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Then verse 2 is exactly the same as verse 1 except for the final line. There the chords are D7 to G7 to C to C7. But here you just play the down up pattern once on each chord, like this. So let's put that all together and play through verse 2. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime in jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air. And now we move on to the first half of the chorus. And here I tend to switch to the regular down, down, up, down, up pattern once on each chord. So the first 2 lines are F to F minor and then C to C7. And that sounds like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And then the final 2 lines of the chorus, the chords are D to D7, followed by G7 to G augmented. But for the G7 and G augmented, I just strum once down on each chord, like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down. So let's put that all together and play through the chorus. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go gliding on a one-horse sleigh-o. Then the second half of the chorus starts off like the verses with a C to C major 7 to C6 to C major 7, like this. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. But the next line goes C6 to C major 7 to A. And for the A you go back to the down, down, up, down, up pattern, like this. Jingle around the clock. Then you've got F to F minor, and again you play the whole down, down, up, down, up pattern on each of those chords, like this. Mix and a mingle in a jingling beat. And then the final line of the chorus, you play D7 to G7 to C. You play the down, up on the D7 to G7, and a down, down, up pattern on the C. So let's play through the second half of the chorus. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in a mingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. And then you put it all together and play through the chorus a second time, but this time you just extend the final line. So the final chorus should sound like this. What a bright time, it's the right time to rock the night away. Jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Oh, giddy up, jingle the horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in a mingling beat. That's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell, that's the Jingle Bell Rock. So now we know the verses and the choruses, I'm going to teach you how to play the intro. For this bit you'll probably need to know how to read tab, and if you don't, then just check out my video for that right here. The first part of the intro is all played on the first and second strings. For the first bit you put your first finger on the 7th fret of the first string, and your second finger on the 8th fret of the second string, and you play both strings together 3 times like this. Then you do exactly the same again, but this time with your first finger covering both strings on the 7th fret like this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you go back to that first position but play it once, and then add your fourth finger to the 10th fret of the first string like this. Then you slide all the way down to the 3rd fret. Bar the 3rd fret, then the 5th fret, bend it up, then the 3rd fret again, and then open, and then you play the G augmented chord like this. So let's play it through nice and slow. 7 and 8, 7 and 7, 7 and 8, 10 and 8, then 3, 5, bend up, then back down, then 3, and then both strings open, and then play the G augmented chord. Then you just count to 4 and you start playing the song. So let's play through that intro together nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And now let's play it through a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. That will take a bit of practice, so don't worry if you have to watch that bit of the video over and over again before you can get it right. Put that all together and that's how to play Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms. I've been the ukulele teacher and I'm going to be posting Christmas lessons all the way through December. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more lessons like this one, and subscribe and turn on the notifications so you never miss a video. Until next time, I love you all and I wish you the best.